Hey guys, Aussie Beef here. Today we are going to go through the scariest golf shots and how to play them. We're out here at the Bayview Golf Course in Sydney with my mate Jordo behind the camera. We're playing a little match, but we're going to throw you in a few situations and a couple of alternatives on how to play those scary heebie-jeebie shots and realize, you know, there's always a way out. So follow along with us today. All right. The fairway finder. We got a little sort of 340 par 4 here, OB on the right. I call this one the second serve. Now I hit big high draws. The reason this is the second serve is I take a good 30 meters off it. And what I'm actually doing here is not being afraid to hit that little squeezy cut. Kind of takes one side of the golf course out of play. The first thing I do is tee the ball down. I'm gonna grip down about a ½ inch. I do most of my work here in the setup, so I'm aiming in those trees on the left. Don't be afraid to actually hit that little power cut. And I'm leveling off my side bend. So usually I have that side bend, I'm trying to hit up on it, trying to hit that nice high draw, but on this one, we got the grip a little down the shaft here, and my forearms and my body a little bit open to the target here. You can see my chest, it's nice and level, and I feel like I am working down and left with that lead shoulder, almost holding it off on the way through. Watch this, it's gonna take that left side out of play. I spin a lot more than my usual drive. Nice and low, little squeezy cut there. Nice little chaser, fairway finder. Try that one. It's gonna save you some strokes on these hard golf holes. This is a shot, surprisingly, a lot of people butcher. We're talking like 50 meters for a number of reasons. I mean, there's such an emphasis on driving the ball that if you don't have good wedge play, sort of a waste. So this is an area I work a lot on my game. Common traits, just swinging the club way too far back, sequencing just all out of whack, getting way too steep as a byproduct, slowing down, digging it in. Almost like a longer chip shot is how I like to think of this one, as opposed to, say, if I hit this 100 normally, looking at 50 and sort of slowing my swing down and just messing your sequence up. So I like to work from sort of that chipping action up, and I know all my distances based off how far I'm going back. So for this little 45, 50 yard shot, that's that like L shape 9 o'clock to Y here, and just really committing to that shot, working on our ground control. You can see I'm just synced up here and mucking around with flights. So here we're just coming in nice and medium. I'm slightly slightly open, but my shoulders are nice and square here. I'm gripping down, nice and balanced. L to Y. A little bit of raz and nice and controlled more than anything. Just really control that flight. Got to have that shot. All right, shots you need to have. Getting out of the bunker. We're not talking about anything too sexy here. We're talking the splash and run. You know, we got a bit of green to work with here, but it's all downhill. If I just get it out, splash it on the green, it's going to be thereabouts. So this comes down to good fundamentals in the bunker. So in the setup, we're going to shuffle our feet in, club face to the sky. So you can see I'm opening that club face up here. A lot of people aim way too left, cut across it. We're going to actually square up here to get the nice release through impact. So got the face nice and open, but we're going to counter that by having our handle low. What I like to see here, when I call it the splash and run, I want the sand to splash out onto the green here. Keep your momentum going. And you know, at worst, we're getting it out here. A couple inches behind the ball, keep the club moving. Splash and run. You need to have it when you play golf. Scary shot number 4. hitting a high soft shot over a bunker. Don't have to label it as a flop shot, but a couple of key notes here. Probably the most common fault I see is mainly in the setup, not knowing how the club works. So we're going to try and use the bounce a little bit here. Most people don't open up enough with the club face, so we're going to set the club slightly open here, gripping down 1/2 inch, and really feel the ground on our practice swing. So you can see there, we don't want to dig it in. I'm someone who's working a lot on using the bounce a bit more. So I like to feel that club face a little bit more open. And on these practice swings, get a sense of both your rhythm and the ground. So I might do a few more practice swings than I normally would on a full swing here. The other thing is just committing to where you actually want to land it. Too many people think of either the bunker, like forcing it over that bunker, or the flag. I'm landing this sort of halfway, so in my rehearsals, just really committing to that spot. So when I'm over the ball, it's just about trust. Face is slightly open. Commit to it. Keep it moving. Nice solid golf shot. You know, you don't have to be a hero on these. If you take the bunker out of play, give yourself sort of 6 foot every time, we'll take it. But yeah, it comes down to trust, and don't be afraid of this one. Just got to play around with it a little bit. Definitely one of the most underrated skills in golf is lag putting. It's often overlooked, but I think pace is the most important thing with putting. We're going to start this lag putt from here. I like to read the putt from sort of the low side about halfway. You get a really good view. Now, think of your brain as a computer. You're just sort of downloading software. I'm not necessarily making any decisions then, but I'm constantly scoping my read up as I'm walking to the green. So we're picking our spot here. This putt breaks, it's uphill, but it slings. So I've got this, my reference point for my apex is sort of 2 meters to the right here. Try and use your instincts. We're trying to be athletic, and rhythm is everything for this one. Now, you'll notice here, even though it's a really long putt, it doesn't look like I'm bashing this. Pick a spot. We're in that 3 foot circle, we're happy. Now, when I say I'm not bashing this, I think one of the most common traits a lot of golfers have is just taking the putter back too short and trying to hit the ball. I never use the word hit when I'm giving a putting lesson. We're trying to roll it down our line. So generally I like a sort of a 3-to-1 ratio, 3-to-2 for this longer one. You can see I'm nice and connected here. My armpits just feel like I'm just rocking my shoulders. Try and get those putts inside that 3 foot circle. Good at lag putting, good at short putting, you're gonna be a good putter. A short downhill left to righter. Very scary putt here. For a lot of people, this is the biggest nightmare. So there's a lot of ways we can sort of start our process with here. At the end of the day, it's about matching line and pace. So, you know, I could aim this left edge and bash it. You can see how quick this is. For me, I'm more of a sort of, I grew up on really quick greens, so I like sort of dying my putts, especially my downhill putts. So I'm taking probably the highest line possible, which is actually outside the hole here. I'll use a reference point. I'm aiming a ball outside the left edge of the hole here. You just have to trust your line here. Once I've decided that, and that's how I practice, it's having that process which gives you the best chance to start the ball on that line. Where people sort of stuff this putt up is they just aren't going through the motions, they're thinking of the result, and you know, at the end of the day, they're not giving themselves the best chance of being clear. Just because it's a short putt, it's not a given. So we've picked that line, and we're going to commit to that. Obviously, you got to kind of check in now and again, make sure I'm aiming correctly. There we go. Now, I can deal with missing putts if I've given myself the best chance to make it. I can't stand when I psych myself out. Actually, Podrake Harrington, when I played with him, he said the most important part of your rehearsal is just before you pull the trigger, and that is acceptance. It's more of a mental rehearsal as opposed to a physical rehearsal. So, you know, practice those short putts. They're super important, but the more you hold, the more you're committed, the less scary they are. So guys, that's the 6 scary shots you absolutely need to have out on the golf course to make life a lot easier. Let me know which one you're working on and hit that subscribe button for more down below.